So, welcome to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and yeah, as you can see, I've gotten the game a little bit earlier than other people out there. Big shout out to my friends at Ubisoft. And today I'm just gonna quickly run through the benchmark here with my RTX3070 on a decent 10700K Intel CPU. And I'm using the 457.30 drivers at the moment. There should be new drivers out at the end of the week, which should increase the performance a little bit more than it is at the moment. But we're gonna be running through some 4K benchmarking, so it should be pretty nice. 144Hz screen, my big ass 65-inch ROG BG65UQ. You can see the review on my channel as well if you wish to do that. But yeah, in the graphic settings, these are the settings that I'm going to be using here today, and basically everything turned to the most maximum detail possible. And I'm actually gonna use low anti-aliasing quality here because it just tends to blur stuff, and I don't need anti-aliasing in 4K. Kinda weird that you can't disable anti-aliasing, kinda weird, but yeah. So, and let's turn off motion blur as well. But yeah, pretty nice. We can see, you know, what everything does. Kind of like in a Costa Rican game, Tom Clancy's Costa Rican game that Ubisoft recently introduced these sliders that you can actually see what each setting does. I really love that. But anyway, so 4K maximum detail. Let's hit benchmark here and see how it performs, right? That's the question that everybody has. At the moment here, 68 frames per second. We can see our frame rate through shadow play on the top left corner as well. Really smooth to play. So yeah, not over 100, right? So I can't fully utilize my 144Hz 4K screen at the moment. Let's check out the frame rate at the left corner there. We also see frame rate here, and as we can see, yeah, it's almost locked at 60 frames per second, right? Around 50 to 60. And yeah, we see our first village. It's pretty much the first time I'm seeing Assassin's Creed Valhalla here on my own PC or on my test rig, right? A little bit of a hiccup here and there I saw, might be to do with my old SSD. Then again, might be some driver stuff as well that can be fixed, you know, at the end of the week or the next week when Nvidia releases new drivers. But at the moment, this is pretty raw benchmark here on a Monday night, right? So the NDA embargo lifted on Monday. But yeah, pretty much constantly over 60 frames per second most of the time, right? On the 10700K. So this is the 3.8 GHz 8-core 16-thread CPU from Intel. A pretty decent CPU, I guess. Kind of the average CPU for this kind of a video card, right? Or I mean, you know, most people who buy a 3070 will buy this CPU. So 62 frames per second. Yeah, can't really utilize my 4K 144Hz screen here. But let's do something interesting. Let's actually, I'm gonna hit screen record as well so you guys can see what's going on here a little bit better. I'm gonna do a run later on and screen capture the entire run, but the score should be a little bit lower then, but just so you guys could see actual gameplay footage here as well, that I'm gonna put in between here. But anyway, one thing, let's actually put everything to the lowest detail possible. Lowest detail possible, but still 4K. And let's check out what the frame rate does then. 80 frames per second in the beginning. Oh, okay. It's definitely better, right? But nowhere near 100 plus frames per second. Or 144 plus, right? 80 is that's interesting. I wonder if the new NVIDIA drivers that will come out in a week or so will improve it quite a lot, but I'm guessing not, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey also didn't run that well on most video cards. It was really hard to overcome like 60 frames per second there, and it seems to be the same case with Valhalla. And if I'm not mistaken, they do use the same engine, right? So it kind of makes sense, right? Okay, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Alright, so the benchmark should end in a second here. Let's see what the final result is gonna be. And then let's run through the test in 1440p and 1080p as well, right? Why not? Let's make this a Assassin's Creed Valhalla special edition video, right? Okay. And 82 frames per second average. So yeah, we gained like what, 20 frames per second or something, but everything looked pretty horrible on low detail, right? Anyway, yeah, let's put everything back to the most maximum detail and run through 1080p and 1440p, right? Of course, I could do this with, you know, the lowest detail as well, but the video might come too long. And who the heck is gonna play at lowest detail anyway on a 3070, right? Alright, so let's take the resolution and let's put 2569 1440p first, right? So we're gonna go from high to low, right? Let's apply. Yep. And graphics, anti-aliasing low. Don't know why it went to high. But everything pretty much the same, right? It's exactly the same. I can actually screen record everything here as well, and yeah, same drivers, right? But this time is going to be 1440p. Let's see. Let's see what the frame rate is here in the loading screen, where we can see the character, right? 140 what? Wow, that's pretty nice, but it dips to 50. Okay, it's, yeah. Let's see. So, no. 70 to 80 frames per second. So, isn't that like the same frame rate that we had with 1080p? I mean 4K at lowest detail, right? 4K at lowest detail. But this is the highest detail, but 1440p. Pretty interesting results. Alright, so let's wait until this test runs through, and then let's head on into 1080p as well. But yeah, still, we can't hit over 100 frames per second at 1440p. That's kinda yikes. That's kinda yikes. And this is, yeah, 10700K, right? Which boosts up to 5.1 gigahertz in most of the time, right? Hopefully. And yeah, really interesting. And I am running the ASUS's TUF RTX3070 at the moment here, and we can even see the GPU temperature, which is 57 degrees. The fans are slightly spinning there. A really great card. I'm gonna have a review up any day now. 79, so almost the same result that was 4K lowest detail. So yeah, I mean, okay, I definitely take 1440p at maximum detail over 4K lowest detail. Anyway, I'm gonna record this for you guys if you wish to check this out here. But let's run the 1080p test now and see how it fares there. Alright, so 1080p. 1080p is here. Okay, apply. Alright, graphic settings, everything the same. Alright, let's hit benchmark. And what do we have here? 180, yep, that's what I want to see. 177. Okay, let's see. So 1080p, ultra detail. Oh, it looks so so bad, so hard to understand what's going on. But almost the same frame rate, almost the same. Okay, and this is mostly capped by the CPU, right? But yeah, God, such a small difference between 1080 and 4K. 80 to 90 here. Jeez, but on this 65-inch monitor, it's just, you know, so blocky. Everything is so blocky. It's like playing on a small, tiny, you know, 27-inch monitor. It feels like you're playing on 640 times 480. It's like exactly like that, or like 720p maybe. It's really blocky looking. But yeah, on a 27-inch 1080p is pretty fine to use, I guess. Well, first time I saw over 100 frames per second. Just about right. So the final result is gonna be like 91 frames per second, I guess. Let's see. Is it gonna be 91? It's gonna be okay. I know my frame rates. So 91 frames per second. I'm gonna hit record for you guys on 1080p. So yeah, this is pretty much the final results. So 1080p, the best, of course, right? 1440, a little bit lower, and 4K a little bit lower than that, but not by much, right? One thing that we can run, I have time, let's run 1080p lowest detail. Right, so 1080p and everything on the lowest detail as possible. Let's hit benchmark and see what happens. We should now be over 100 frames per second, right? At least. Alright. No. 120. 110, 120. Fluctuates a lot. A little bit better to watch maybe Shadow Blaze recording 114, 111, 115 frames per second, 120. Alright. Finally, we can actually enjoy this 144 Hz monitor almost, right? If you have a OLED display at home, a 65-inch OLED TV, the RTX3070 has HDMI 2.1, which means you can actually fully utilize your 65-inch OLED TV at 1080p, 120 Hz. Oh, you don't need HDMI 2.1 for that. I think. Damn. Yeah, this isn't 4K, right? So I was already like, oh yeah, you can finally play on your OLED TV in 4K on that 120 Hz, but oh wait, yeah, this is 1080p, everything on the lowest detail. And I'm pretty sure nobody in the world is gonna be playing at those settings on this video card or that CPU. Well, might be with that CPU if you have a video card like $50 worth or something. But anyway, 127 frames per second. Alright. Yeah, that kind of concludes my testing here for today. I hit record as well so you can see a little bit better, but this has been a quick little introduction to Assassin's Creed Valhalla and its benchmark here, and on the 3070, on the 10700K. Should give you a pretty good idea how well it will perform in your PC, because 3070 is pretty much the same speed as a 2080 Ti, a little bit faster even maybe, but a whole lot cheaper. And yeah, I'm gonna use Assassin's Creed Valhalla in all my future video card reviews as well as my main benchmark. Before that I did it with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But yeah, really excited about the game, but god, they need to do some tweaking with the game engine to make it run a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, it's not a 3090, right? It's not a 3080. Need to get those cars, see how well those perform. But anyway, this has been my testing. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or want me to do any further testing, leave them down below in the comment section. And if you want to buy the RTX 3070 Asus stuff version, I guess I'm gonna leave my Amazon affiliate link down below as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Ciao for now.